Good day. I am Unibeth Laika Semero from BS Ed 3 Block 11. My presentation is all about why Philippines rank second to the last out of 79 countries in terms of reading comprehension. As an educator, how will I assess the result of this ranking and what are the possible solutions in order to cope up with this problem? I will be posting facts why some Filipinos seldom reacts overboard. First up, Valenzuela versus Venezuela. These words may appear the same in just one look, but if you will read thoroughly, these words are indeed different. This photo of the Nazarene procession in Venezuela was published by ABS-CBN News on April 8, 2020, where people on the internet immediately put the blame to Valenzuela City Mayor Rex Gatchalian for allowing devotees to go there despite the imposed enhanced community quarantine amid of COVID-19 pandemic. It seems they confused the South American country with one of Metro Manila cities. Second, the burning of old Philippine flags. This is published by Philippine Star and posted online on June 11, 2019, where online critics posted mean comments about the people involved in the ceremony. And even if you'll check it online, there were more than 24,000 people who reacted angry without knowing that this practice is stated in the Philippine Constitution as a sign of respect. Maybe those reactors are not aware of this tradition. Third, this is the trending maternity shoot of Zainab Harake. One of the pictures that caught the public attention is the Cinderella theme background where the clock behind her back indicates this numeral instead of this one. Then again, people pissed the post, write mean comments, and acted like online professionals for the nth time, for they thought that this was a huge mistake. But it is not. You can search it online that this was once used by Roman people to avoid confusion. These are the examples I noticed on Facebook, a social media platform where some Filipinos acted like lawyers, teachers, doctors, policemen, and the like. In short, nagmamagaling. I don't know if it's just me, but I noticed that some Filipinos only care about the surface of the content or the picture. I mean, some Filipinos forget to use time in reading in order to understand and analyze the whole context. No doubt why this is happening, because according to the Programming of International Student Assessment in 2019, Philippines ranked second to the last in reading comprehension. Before I talk about the strategies on how to cope up with this problem, let me first discuss the causes of poor reading comprehension. According to Dr. Linda Silbert, the causes of poor reading comprehension are the following. First, disinterest or boredom. This causes children not to pay attention to what they are reading. The scenario goes this way. If students are intellectual, they will surely find the book or any material they are reading simple, and then they eventually get bored. Others are disinterested in what they are reading because it doesn't relate to anything they care or know about. Second, decoding of individual words. If the assigned material includes too many words a child doesn't know, they focus on decoding rather than understanding. Many will simply give up trying to read what's assigned. Third, difficult text. These challenges some students. For others, it is so frustrating, so they choose to give up. A story may be appropriate for the grade level of the child but too hard for an individual child. In addition to not knowing the vocabulary, the context can be unfamiliar or too complex. Fourth, oral language deficit. This is often associated with poor reading comprehension. Children with limited vocabulary and oral reading fluency will have difficulties understanding written text. Recent research has shown that spoken language training seems to have resulted in a generalized improvement in the kids' ability to understand language. Working memory deficit. This occurs with kids who can't remember what they read long enough to talk about it or explain the story immediately after reading. It is common with kids with ADHD. Sixth, visual processing disorder. This affects students' reading comprehension if they skip words or lines. They may also be unable to judge depth and distance and reverse letters and numbers. Children with visual perception problems usually have poor eye-hand coordination. Visual processing disorder can affect not only reading comprehension but math and motor skills. Seventh, poor reading skills. This affects all the learning including reading comprehension. Researchers at Vanderbilt University have recently been investigating specific reading comprehension deficits or SRCD. They discovered from brain scans that kids with dyslexia have abnormalities in a different part of the brain than kids who have poor reading comprehension. Eighth, limited vocabulary. This can cause poor reading comprehension. If children don't know the meaning of the words they're reading, they'll miss the meaning of the story or the chapter. And then, many won't bother trying to decode the unknown words. Ninth, aphasia and dysphasia, which are caused by brain injury, tumor, or virus and can cause difficulties in reading comprehension. These children will also have speech problems. If common strategies used by a teacher or reading specialist don't need, testing by a neurologist or speech therapist is recommended. 10th, ADHD. ADHD kids have difficulty concentrating on a task including reading. When they can focus, they won't understand what they are reading. Since students spend hours in school, therefore it is teachers' responsibility to teach young learners the importance of reading and to enrich their understanding regarding with this matter. To cope up with this problem, here are the strategies to improve poor reading comprehension.
First, fun and interesting. Fun and interesting stories keep kids with poor comprehension engaged. Research has shown that kids and adults too learn faster and remember more when they are enjoying what they are doing and having fun. Children often understand a story they find interesting even if the vocabulary is more difficult. Second, self-vocabulizing can help kids who lack skills in reading silently. Children begin reading by reading aloud. Eventually, they read to themselves, but many of them haven't learned how to visualize what they're reading. Suggest to kids who have difficulty understanding what they read to vocalize. In other words, to move their lips as if they are reading aloud. Third, decoding. Decoding difficulties get in the way of kids understanding the story. Make sure the children have sufficient decoding skills. If they can't decode the words, they won't know what they are reading. Fourth, appropriate materials for kids' reading level is essential. If a child is in 3rd grade but still reading at 2nd grade level, this child will need stories at a 2nd grade level. Fifth, scanning. Scanning involves look at the title, summary, review, end of the chapter questions, keywords, headings, diagrams and captions, graphs, maps, book cover, and pictures of nonfiction, or the front and back cover, table of contents, and pictures for fiction. 6. Encourage. Encourage children to think what the story or chapter will be about after scanning. These clues pin to what's ahead. Discuss whether the reading materials will relate to something the children already know about or something they may be interested in. Always remember that TEACH stands for Think, Explain, Ask, Clues, and Handwrite. Think about the topic of the reading assignment. Explain further. Ask kids to explain what they think the reading will be about. Clues about the reading helps kids to focus on what they read. Handwrite or draw everything they think is important as they read. I hope you learned something about my presentation. Again, this is Unibeth Laika Bicasemero. Thank you for watching.